Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Continuity Report for May 3rd, 2025. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com, and that's where all the news, none of the noise, is sourced from. Well, it's aggregated to a bunch of different sources. I run ohmtown.com, and, well, today we talk about 5 articles, and along with the sentient AI from the future. Those articles are Star Wars Begins Jedi Sequel, Feed the Hungry, Cut Waste, Holloway versus Davids, Tom Hardy crime thriller, and Eternaut news. I don't know what this is all about. Anyway, everything is powered by ohmtown.com and our sheer will to bring you the news. Background music sounds ominous. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
How far art thou?
Not unwell.
Would you like to talk about these 5 articles?
I would.
But first, all the news is aggregated into ohmtown.com, but sometimes we break it down into a subcategory. Actually, we always break it into one of 50 different categories. We call them channels. You can go over and hang out there and download the podcast. There's over 2,200 episodes of the shows, plural. All of ohmtown is available via podcast, or you can watch them live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then on Saturday and Sunday starting around 4 o'clock. We try to get there at 4 o'clock. Today, mayoral duties prevented me from being present until 7. Anyway, go over to YouTube. Follow us there. Follow us here on Twitch, and we stream to both. But anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to shut up. First article is over in the Continuity Report. Star Wars officially begins its return of the Jedi sequel, and it's exactly what fans hoped for. I'm going to go straight on over to screenrant.com. Ambrose Tardive put the article together. That's a new name, I think.
It is, and it sounds like it belongs in Star Wars.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So they say Marvel's Star Wars comics officially entered sequel territory with the relaunch of the franchise's flagship comic series as the post-Return of the Jedi era finally kicks off, charting the adventures of Luke, Leia, and Han. We already know how these all end, as they help rebuild the galaxy and establish the New Republic, all while forging the path that will lead them to the events of the cinematic sequel trilogy. Star Wars #1, written by Alex Segura with art by Phil Noto, inaugurates an entirely new epoch for the franchise's Disney canon. Interesting. So this is all comic stuff, though.
Oh, I thought this was for movies. I mean, it still relates to movies, but...
Yeah, Star Wars Expanded Universe is a wide-open frontier once more as it enters the sequel era. It's going to be available May 7th.
So I think this is like comics leading into movies.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, from the past decade have explored other eras of the franchise's vast timeline, from the deep past of the Old Republic era to the prequel trilogy era, to the period of episodes 7 through 9. The post-Return of the Jedi era has largely been off limits. Marvel has been methodically building there, savoring the opportunity to focus on fleshing out the original trilogy arcs of the franchise's greatest characters, most notably Luke Skywalker. Now, though, the publisher has run out of road, surpassing the events of Return of the Jedi, and now the road to The Force Awakens truly begins. Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe we have a lot more ahead of us.
Yeah, there's been books and graphic novels, Mom. They're graphic novels. It's not a phase. So yeah, they say every detail of the new Star Wars book will be under a microscope, scrutinized in relation to the Legends version of Star Wars history. That's the expanded universe still stings for many fans, even if it does make sense, especially in light of how strong Marvel's Star Wars comics have been. Anyway, Star Wars #1, I guess the post Return of the Jedi's comic phase starts with Star Wars #1. Dun,
So
dun,
how many
dun.
of the movies do you think, like, which way does this feed in, right? Do the movies go into the comics, or the comics go into the movies, or both directions?
Probably both directions, but the canon precedes the movies, and then this is building inside that space, if I'm reading this right. They've been avoiding 7, 8, 9. Sorry, no, they've been avoiding 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, those
And
were
so,
not the stars of the franchise, I guess.
yeah, right. Marvel Star Wars comics from the past decade have explored other eras of the franchise vast timeline, from the deep past of the Old Republic to the I keep saying pre-trequel.
Prequel.
The prequilogy to the periods of episodes 7, 8, and 9. So the post Return of the Jedi era has largely been off limits. So that middle part, that's fine. Now they've got enough canon before and after that they can wrap everything inside it. Frankly, the way that I see it, Andor is doing a bang up job of leading into Rogue One.
Oh yeah, it is. I think Andor is really a standout in the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah, I really dig it. And I called it. The 6th episode in the 6 episodes that are out right now, I knew it was going to be softer, more political, less action-packed. But Saw Gerrera is crushing, just chewing up the screen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, oh yeah, remind me, I need to make that shirt. So, and the other day, I started talking like Saw Gerrera with people in the car, and I think that it freaked people out. But anyway, because he's so passionate and weird about it. That's not my real Saw Gerrera. I have to hear him some more. I mean, it's just amazing. I love that character. Crazy is, I don't know what, 3-headed rooster. Moving on. Yeah, I don't know what that analogy is. Anyway, the next article is over in the Continuity Report. How Everyday Action found a way to feed the hungry, cut waste on film sets, and hire out-of-work crew members. On a recent Tuesday, Samantha Liu and Aaron Goswami are sorting out day-old cupcakes and loaves of artisan bread in a warehouse on Alvarado Street as they wait for texts to come in from TV shoots across Los Angeles. But nobody wants this. Filming in Eagle Rock doesn't have any leftovers from its crew meal and so on. But so we've kind of been through the block with this because we've had conversations with people about this kind of action. This is called Everyday Action. It's an organization rescuing meals across Los Angeles to feed those in need. Pat Saperstein put this article together for Variety.com. And I find this admirable. I actually really do appreciate this because waste is waste. And it doesn't have to be even called waste. You can rescue these meals that exist and deliver them to those who need, because why doesn't that make sense? Why sit there and allow for suffering?
Right, yeah, you don't want food to go to waste. You don't want people to go hungry.
Right.
Seems
so
like
why
it's a
not?
good combination.
It's a win-win. And I'm sure somebody is sitting there right now, some sociopath out there is going, hey, I don't want my money going in. Yeah, okay, yes, sociopath. Just because you were born in the right context doesn't mean shit to anyone. Have some compassion. So it says, but nobody wants this. Filming in Eagle Rock doesn't have any leftovers from its crew meal, and neither does the Lincoln Lawyer shooting in LA Center Studios. So Aaron moves on to Plan B, delivering hundreds of pounds of leftover Whole Foods baked goods to partners like the Hollywood Food Coalition. Wonderful. Why let it go to waste? Why let it get thrown out? At best, no, not at. As long as it's helping people, that's all that matters. So it's a typical day at Everyday Action, which was launched by former assistant directors Hillary Cohen and Liu in 2020 to help eliminate waste on productions. Drivers from nonprofits crisscross the city, stopping by the sets of shows including Abbott Elementary, NCIS, 911, The Pit. We need to watch The Pit. I keep getting pinged about The Pit. Watch The Pit. Watch The Pit.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of buzz.
So we were kind of sick of how much food was thrown out, and during COVID, we decided to do something about it, says Cohen, who now runs Everyday Action full time. Today, the organization distributes more than 85,000 meals a year, feeding unhoused people, veterans, and families through charities such as Bridge to Home, SELAH or SELA, and Alexandria House. They go from Santa Clarita to San Pedro every day following film production, and we pick up the gourmet leftover catering at the end of the lunch and then deliver it, explains Cohen. Wonderful. I think that this is great. Straight up.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't. I think we need to see more of this.
Yeah, and the thing about this is, historically, I've talked to people about this, starting in an enterprise like this, but in different places. I'll just say it, in different places. But what they have found is that the people that are become in charge of this actually stack the deck so that there's more waste costing the organization a lot of money, but it's perfectly good. They just quote unquote run out of the good, and then they deliver it to family and friends and stuff like that. So the thing about this is it's an external partner that's going to the locations, that's picking up the stuff, and you might find some overly ambitious person like stacking the deck so that Everyday Action has something, but that's not what's happening.
Right. I think this has less of a chance of that occurring. And I still kind of believe that if somebody gets some food that wouldn't have had some, that's a good thing.
And that has been my argument for the other places where we talked about this with CEOs and others. But they basically say we can't handle monitoring and all of that kind of stuff. And I think that's kind of a cop-out mentality about things. But hey, I'm not the CEO of a Fortune 100 company. And particularly not in some other country where I have zero influence. At any rate, I love the idea of this. And I don't even like referring to it as waste. But basically, I just want to say feed the hungry, delivering meals to anybody in need, and out-of-work crew members being hired to facilitate it, I think is just brilliant. Keep everybody employed. All right, let's keep on going. This next article is over in the Continuity Report as well. Josh Holloway tries to take down Keith David's crime empire in Max's Duster trailer.
I'm assuming that's the channel, Max.
Yeah, I don't know if a person out there named Max is going to take credit for this, but all you Maxes out there, good job on making the Duster trailer, I guess. I don't know. New trailer, Duster, has been released. Duster is a new crime thriller television show premiering on Max next month, co-created by J.J. Abrams and LaToya Morgan. The series stars Josh Holloway, Rachel Hilson, Keith David, and more. It sees Hilson playing a cop who's attempting to take down a criminal organization that's run by David. In order to do this, she enlists the help of Josh Holloway. I guess, a getaway driver? So here is a trailer. We're not going to play it. I'll just let you all go over. This guy looks like a cowboy. If anybody could present themselves as a cowboy, it's this guy right here. He looks like somebody. Just throw a duster on him and stick him on a horse, and he looks like a cowboy. Maybe that's
Is this
me.
about cowboys? I don't know what this is about.
No, not that I know of. It's just but it's called Duster. So, but Duster is also a vehicle. So Duster explores the life of a getaway driver, probably driving a Duster, for a growing crime syndicate that goes from dangerous to wildly, stupidly dangerous when a tenacious young agent comes into town hell-bent on taking down his crime family. The logline for the series reads like that. The cast of the show is a bunch of different people. Go and check it all out. But Abrams and Morgan wrote the first 2 episodes, while Steph Green directed and executive produced them. Abrams and Rachel Rush Rich serve as executive producers on Duster for Bad Robot, while Morgan executive produces for Tinker Toy Productions, and the show is produced in association with Warner Brothers Television. So, no, all of these pieces don't lead to something that seems like it's going to be inexpensive. Go ahead. What?
Well, I didn't know who Josh Holloway was, but I recognized, obviously, of course, J.J. Abrams, but I didn't realize that was because they worked together on Lost.
Yeah, and he's one of the key players on Lost.
Right.
Holloway is also known for playing Rourke Morris in Yellowstone, while Hilson also starred in The Good Wife, This Is Us, Love, Victor, and more. And David has recently voiced characters in 2024's Mufasa, The Lion King, and 2025's Sneaks. Anyway, go and check this out. There's more, and the trailer is over at comingsoon.net. Brandon Schrewer put the article together, and my over exuberance to talk about this, I didn't give credit at the beginning of our discussion. So there you have it. Oh, and if you want today's articles, by the way, you can hit !TCR continuity report. Those will stay in Omatron until the next weekend when they get rewritten for the next episode. But you can always get these show notes in the videos that are produced over at YouTube. When we stream, they're live there already with the show notes, but they're also reposted as an individual silo for just the continuity reports. What do you call it? Category. What the hell do you call that? Anyway, we put it in a little bucket for all of 2025 episodes of our 6 weekly shows. And then there's an overarching everything in ohmTown bucket that has 2,200 episodes of stuff in it. So go over to YouTube and check it all out. Anyway, the next article is Tom Hardy's new crime thriller with 63% Rotten Tomatoes score becomes Netflix hit. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Every once in a while, something pops up out of nowhere.
Well, this is actually trending. Well, I guess because the Netflix hit, but
yeah. Tom Hardy has been a reliable presence on the big and small screen for decades now. After making his TV debut in the acclaimed Band of Brothers miniseries, Hardy made a splash in film with a supporting role in the cast of Ridley Scott's Black Hawk Down. Hardy continued to make a name for himself over the past decade, starring in Rock and Rolla, Bronson. Before that, then appearing in Christopher Nolan's mind-bending blockbuster, Inception. The article is by Ryan Northrup over at ScreenRant.com. There is no deck statement here. But Hardy didn't slow down in the years that followed Inception, collaborating with Nolan twice more. The Dark Knight Rises, Dunkirk, Mad Max Fury Road now stands as one of Hardy's most iconic roles. Venom trilogy he was in as well. Not in, he starred in it. Basically, action-packed everything, but Havoc has just become a major viewership hit on Netflix, according to new streaming data. Not too worried about anything other than that right now. Netflix
but when
now
was
reveals,
Havoc released?
When was it released? Does it say? Doesn't say it down there. Doesn't say it right there. What
Okay,
the
I'll
heck?
try to find it.
Sometime before 2014, apparently. Who's best known for directing The Raid and its 2014 sequel. No, that's somebody else. It's directed by Gareth Evans. I don't know, it doesn't say. So Netflix now, while the AI is looking for that release date, It's probably down at the bottom of this article, by the way.
2025.
Oh, it says it right here, right? Like it's just kind of
Yeah, I
thrown
thought
into
it was
this
an
little
older
inset.
film and it was suddenly taking off like we've seen some other things on streaming.
No, it's 2025. It's in the first quarter of 2025 release, for crying out loud. Haven't even seen it. So Netflix now reveals that Havoc. So why are they poo-pooing this? Because it has a 63% Rotten Tomatoes score?
Maybe to me that's a spectacular Rotten Tomatoes score.
In spite of. So yeah, it's got an 8.2 though of the audience listing. So I don't quite get it. Okay, well, whatever. I don't like that. So the global Netflix top 10 right now has Havoc as number 1 by 6 times the next competitor.
Oh, right, exactly. That's interesting. And it's the number 1 film in 40 countries.
Oh
I'm gonna
my
have to check
God.
that out.
Including the US, Canada, UK, Germany, Denmark, South Africa, ranked in the top 10 in 93 countries. And this is the global top 10. The nearest competitor has 5.5 million views. Havoc has 29.8 million views. At the time of this writing, I don't know if this hasn't been updated since its release. This was actually published 4 days ago, so I don't know if this is real-time
Could
numbers.
be slightly different, but I mean, even look at some of the names on here, right? Despicable Me 4 is this really well-known franchise.
Yep.
I know it's not just out, but
American Sniper.
that gives you
Yep.
a good sense, and those are way lower numbers.
Interesting. So what this means for Havoc, it says the film's mixed reception is explained here in this. It says the film's critic score on Rotten Tomatoes may be a lukewarm 63, but the audience-driven popcorn meter score is only 38. Evans has a very high bar with both the Raid movies, and the general sentiment from the viewers seems to be that Havoc does not meet the quality of his past work. While the strong viewership could pave a way for a sequel, the reception could work against its long-term prospects. So I don't quite get it. It's pure viewership. This thing has gone viral and is crushing everybody else, but it's a diluted field on the global market. How does this compare
but it's
to others?
not even, it doesn't even have close competitors. You'd have to combine like the whole list to maybe get in the same numbers.
I'm really curious, like if you have that list, this category, who's the next competitor if they don't even pop up here? American Sniper? That's number 6 at 4.4 million.
Yeah, I don't know what
So
to do with that.
7 times as many, have viewed Havoc. Talk about crying Havoc. Anyway, sounds like a blast. Screen Rant gave it 5 out of 10. Audience gives it 8.2 out of 10.
That's really a high rating as well.
Yeah. All right. We'll have to put that on the list. At least take a look at the beginning of it and see. It's a crime thriller, which is different than what we watch. Like we're more into the murder
mystery thrillers or whatever, or mysteries, but crime thrillers, they're kind of all over the place. Depends on what the focus is and the not the pacing, but just kind of like the overall
atmosphere, right?
Framework. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's something about like this kind of movie probably doesn't have any humor. It doesn't have like the more down home kind of. If you want to see the style of show, at least, pardon me one second. The style of show that I really like, you got to watch things like Vera or Ludwig. There's something about the pacing and the styling of it that just really lands well for me. But I've also watched things like Reservoir Dogs and loved it.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of genres, and I think a lot of people appreciate multiple genres, but you have to be in the right mood for whatever you're watching.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. If you put anything under, those little ways that you're supposed to trap bunnies in the woods. You put a box and some food down and a little stick to hold the box up so that when the bunny goes under it, it trips it and boom.
Right.
You put sci-fi in that box, I'm under that damn box.
You heard it here
Basically,
first.
That or stuffed crust pizza. Anyway, moving on.
Maybe both.
Maybe both. Yeah. Sci-fi. Oh, yeah. Netflix and pizza under that box. I'll be chill there. I don't think that's what the meaning behind Netflix and chill is, but I'll be chill under that box. Anyway, Netflix is the Eternaut is an apocalyptic puzzle box. I chose this simply because of that name. I have no idea what Eternaut is.
I don't either, but it was such an intriguing name and also headline.
Kind of fascinating. So I heard something, somebody mentioned in passing something going on with Polygon. I have no idea what's going on with that. But the source of this is Polygon.com. It says Netflix's The Eternaut is an apocalyptic puzzle box, a grounded, tense sci-fi story with a lot to unpack. Pete Volk over at Polygon.com put the article together. It says, editor's note, some slight spoilers for the setup for the Eternaut is going to follow. So let's do this. Okay.
Oh, good idea, especially if it's just been released, which we might have done on the other one had we known it was so recent, but I don't think it had any spoilers.
I don't think there were any spoilers. That was like trailer-ish level spoilers, if there are any. So, adapted from the beloved 1950s Argentinian comic of the same name, The Eternaut comes from Argentinian director and writer Bruno Stagnaro of Pizza, Beer, and Cigarettes. The son of decorated director and screenwriter Juan Bautista Stagnaro. Through the first 3 episodes, a total of 6 for season 1. This is a series, not a movie. The series effectively leans into the mystery of it all. The show is tense and grounded despite its sci-fi premise, features some evocative design choices, and deploys new wrinkles in its perplexing mystery at a satisfying pace, including a reveal at the end of episode 3 that upends all expectations of the series. I think that I actually want to stall this. I want to go and watch this series.
Well, yeah, you don't want to spoil it for yourself.
Even for myself, because if something upends in episode 3 out of 6 that are in the season for just season 1, and it's being kind of embellished like this, I want to just put the brakes on. I'll let the readers, listeners go over and check this out. But it's called the Eternaut, Eternaut for those in the podcast.
And it's on Netflix, I think.
Yeah, Netflix's The Eternaut is an apocalyptic puzzle box. And the article, again, is over at Polygon.com. You can go and check it out. It's by Pete Volk. But this article actually enters with, it's summer in Buenos Aires and the tension in the air is thick. Protesters are engaging in a noisy cacerolazo. Is that like a cacerolazo. On the streets after a series of issues with the power grid, and it's a hot day in the thick of the season, and then the whole world comes to a stop after a series of mysterious lights flash in the sky. A massive outage disables nearly all electronic devices, phones, cars, lights, you name it, and then snow starts falling in the middle of now frigid Buenos Aires summer. Anyone the snow touches seems to die instantly. And that's the intro to the
Wow,
Eternaut.
I mean, that's pretty intense for the intro.
Yeah. This is making me crave Claire Obscure because they're trying to figure out their puzzle box, and everybody that I've been watching play this game loves it, but apparently it's not particularly great unless you really rip through it for viewers, because they stop talking. And if the people in your stream don't chat, you don't filter up through the ranking. Like, you have to have engagement and more people find you, and it's a whole, marketing kind of a thing. I don't know how, if that's anecdote or if that is just, you're going to have more chat when there's more people in the channel, and you're going to have more stuff to talk about.
Ridiculous if that's the case, but
the story is so engrossing that people watch the cinematics just like, oh my God, it's beautiful, it's compelling story, it's fascinating story, and there's already rumors of it becoming a movie. And this right here, like, when you start out with that kind of a lead in, you're like, okay, this is going to be pretty damn awesome, particularly if it's sticking to a 1950s Argentinian comic that has world building, historical canon, and they're sticking to it in its favor.
Right, and somebody with a good track record on the production and everything.
Yeah. Telling you, if you find, my face just made this weird sound. Oh, let me turn off the spoiler alert. So if you can find some really good source material, right? Everybody loves the book, and you don't screw with it. You don't hallucinate like an AI, drunk on text, making crap up. You stick to the story, even if you embellish it in different ways, as long as you stick to the core, it's money in the bank. But you really do need writers that don't sit there and go, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to,
I'm going to reinvent this really intriguing story, or really well-received story.
Yep. Don't be dumb. Anyway, you think we're done?
I lost track of which article we're on, so I don't know.
Yeah, this is the last one. Yeah, that was the last one. So we are going to, I don't know what. There's some bright flashes, and when we open our eyes, we'll be back at the continuity reports page over at ohmtown.com, where you should go and become a citizen. But in the meantime, between then and now, I'm going to take the AI and run. You want to say bye, oh great AI from on high?
Goodbye, ohmTown citizens. Thanks for joining us for this week's The Continuity Report. Stay tuned for our replay when we're not streaming live, but also come back tomorrow for 3 more shows.
I think I have a solution for where I can look so that when I look at you when you're talking.
The solution is to be on the other side of the screen.
No, not you on the other side of the screen. You'll see. I'll fix it on the other side of this. Okay. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.